And we back. What's good? What's happening? If y'all don't know, it is the season finale week. So y'all have already seen up to this point our final episode in those three parts. And today is Thursday, and now y'all are getting the first album review out of two y'all will get, for this week. And so the first album review we are doing will be Good Kid M.a.a.D City by Lamar, the very heralded album from Sir Kendrick. But yeah, man, we'll just jump right into it. We've talked enough about Kendrick this week, so we'll just hop right into the first track. But Sherane, aka Master Splinter's daughter.
Master Splinter's daughter. But for me, this was a very, very different intro. And truthfully, for me, around this time where Good Kid M.a.a.D City dropped, I would call myself becoming really a student of hip hop, because even if I grew up around it and stuff like that, I wasn't cognizant to really sit and feel like this is relevant to the things that's happening around me and stuff like that. Like talk about J. Cole's and everybody else. But for me, Good Kid M.a.a.D City was the first album that I actually want to sit down and break down track by track, and just the Sherane intro. It was just it's different. It's Dear God. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing, it was just this is about to be raw. And if you was already a fan of Kendrick Lamar before Good Kid M.a.a.D City, it was just that intro kind of gave you everything of what you needed, because I feel like he was known for this, because with Section 80, most of the skits at the beginning of the songs and stuff, when you heard a skit, you was getting some fire off the track. So when Sherane opened up like this, it's he about to do his thing. And it was just a somber beat. It wasn't nothing too crazy. The storytelling was very vivid. You know what I'm saying? It introduced you to this vivid album that you was about to get. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all right, buckle your seatbelt up, and enjoy this hour and 40 minute, tape that's dang near like a movie. So how'd you feel about when Sherane first came on, man?
Yeah, I mean, there was excitement, of course, because of course I was excited to hear the album by that point. But I mean, I think it was, I don't know, I think like you said, if you were a fan of Kendrick, the skits weren't new, and you also knew that his skits were very meaningful, and they always had purpose, especially within the album. So I think for me, it was just kind of paying attention to what they were saying, and just trying to catch any kind of themes or any kind of seeds he might be trying to plant. And so the intro was cool, and then as he gets into it, it's just the more I listen, the more I realize he's just he's really telling the story of a teenager, even a lot of the things he references, referencing the fact that he was watching Martin and things like that, referencing things that go on at house parties and stuff like that. It's just all kind of stuff, especially at the time for us, we in high school, we get to that age where we go into house parties, we are doing these things. So it was extremely relatable. And as a start to the album, I don't think at that point we knew what we were about to, continue to experience, but it was definitely a very solid intro track for sure. Then, that leads right into, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. And man, I don't
self-explanatory. I don't. It's it's just when it dropped, bro. I think the whole world, it was that. Not only was that a catchphrase for the longest, bro. Every caption that you seen on IG at that time. I remember IG was fresh around that time, from Twitter and IG, and Twitter was a totally different world. So you were seeing that. You were seeing that everywhere. And I'm gonna be honest. At first, I was one of them dudes that was just bruh, stop overhyping the song, whoop off the bam. But it was just it was nah, bro. The track was really like that. Then the video kind of really video set it off even more. I was just yeah, bro, Kendrick on a different level right now, bro.
Yeah, and I think the versatility of Kendrick has always been clear to me, but I think, on this album, you see him over so many different types of beats, and he's still able to deliver the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's just him, and it's really authentic to me. And I just think, I don't know, I think it's a good track. I don't think it was a track that when I first heard it, I felt that's not one of the tracks where I was damn, this one of them ones for me. It was a very, very good track, and I was happy with it, but it wasn't one of them ones where I'm sheesh, this one of the ones I'm up for real go back to. One
It was
definitely.
just like that. It
I love
followed.
it sonically though. I love the horns. Maybe because my sister played horn, but I love the horns in the song for sure. Like it's definitely different. It's definitely dope in that regard. So yeah, that's track 2, and then track 3, Backseat Freestyle. Now this was one of them songs where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be.
Ding, 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 ding. You just like,
I was like, oh, this nigga about to spaz.
Yeah.
I was like, this.
He said, hey, okay, I got a beat CD. I got a pack of blacks in the beat CD. I'm like, the beat came on. Ding, ding, ding. I'm like, bro. Then
In the basement.
I had a dream.
Hey, what?
I'm like, no, he didn't.
What?
Then he said, Kendrick had a dream. All my life, I want money and power. I'm like, dang, bro.
I pray my dick is bigger than
the top. Bro, that line alone, bro. I think everybody was like, oh.
Are you joking? Are you joking, bro? Is that what we doing? Is this for jokes? That's how I felt. Cause like, why are you spazzing like this,
bro?
But no, I mean, freestyle. But what he did, like, and as much as he teed up on the third verse, like that nigga left Earth. But like the whole song, like that's ridiculous, bro. Like I'm sitting here like that, like that's the hunger, like that we talked about in the episode. Like that's the hunger we talking about. Like, and it wasn't even like he was going at a rapper or anything in the song. It's just the hunger you heard in his voice at the time.
How do you feel like he recorded that track effortlessly, or do you feel like, cause I don't know, bro, like the sound, how the album was structured, it doesn't seem like I think that was what the beauty of Good Kid M.a.a.D City was. No track sound forced or like it like he tried to make it fit it, like everything flows so smoothly from Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe to Backseat Freestyle. And just the fact we get a track where it's just like, it's him and his homies, but it's still following the theme of everything that was going on, this visual story. Like you picture your homie in the car, you popping a tape in and you just letting him spit and you just like, dang, yeah, bro. Like I've done that with my homies, we just threw on a beat, just playing around with it. So, and then the fact is like Kendrick's already like, I'll say this, even if you wasn't a fan of Kendrick and this was your first time listening to it, I think Backseat Freestyle was the perfect song to just say, yes, nigga, I can spit bars too. Like, just spit, bro.
Yeah, just spit. And I think the thing is, like, yo, and I think at one day we were like, nobody thought he couldn't do what he did. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just a simple fact that, yo, like, wow, like the beat, the way he brought it, I don't think it was effortless. Like, I don't think it was a one-take thing, because I don't see Kendrick as a one-take artist. Like, he just seems too meticulous to be a one-take artist. Not that he couldn't. He just, like, he'll do it. It'll be fire, but he want to change one little thing. Like, think about the commercial. Think about the Beats commercial. Like, I feel like he liked that in real life. Like, type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was effortless, but I mean, I think in terms like the hunger was there. I don't think like the aggression, like the delivery, I don't think that was something he had to get to. I think it was just, him tweaking for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. Then
everybody.
Yo, no, but this was different. Like I'm talking about this.
What was your first feeling? Like what was the first feeling of hearing this track?
Man, I mean, I've been there. Like, you've been there, bro. Like, you've been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing, like, with a lot of songs on this album, is like he took you right to a place where you've been, or where you were, or he might have even low-key foreshadowed where you might have been, like, a couple years down the road type shit. So it's just, like, it was crazy because, yeah, like, my first response was just like, damn. And it was so vivid, and, like, the beat and hit, like, he drew you in. He was just telling a really, really intense story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just drew you in that way. So I was like, damn, like he's different. Like this is
I love the transition from how to, cause I ain't gonna fake it. I could have went with the smoking on the finest, don't and just had that beat play out. I would have been like, hey, that's cool. And then it got dark.
Yeah.
It got so dark. And then I think it was just the tick of the beat. Tick of the beat, and then him just going in. Me and my niggas from deep in it. I'm just like, bro.
Orange soda. Like, what? Like, you know how vivid that is, bro? Like, Bro, like what?
Basketball shorts with the Gonzalez Park. Oh, the We on a Mission. Come on, bro.
What, bro? I don't even got to be from
Water
the
peer
city.
pressure.
I don't even got to be from the city to feel that, bro. Like he painted the picture, bro.
It's just so it paints literally the picture, and the fact that this is only track 4, and it's just like smack dab in the middle. It takes you exactly the title of the album, Good Kid, M.a.a.D City, the art of peer pressure. Then the fact that he has skits in there, like I love the skit when he was like, "Hey yo, there's somebody in this room," and he was like, "What? It's somebody in this back room." I'm like, bro, it's in the middle of the song. This dude's spitting, bro. He just gonna toss that in there, like,
bro. And that's the thing, like, that's how you paint a picture, though. Like, you gotta think, like, in the middle of him, like, it's like him telling this story, like, that's a part of the story. Like, that happened, like, that was a part of everything that transpired. So it's just crazy, like, man, like, he did what he had to do. Like, art of peer pressure, like, a lot of songs really do speak for themselves, but, like, you know, this was a song that was really like, damn, like, I think this might have been, it's probably one of the songs, but this is one of the most vivid pictures he painted from the entire album. You know,
you know what's so crazy? I thought the most vivid picture that he painted from the album, to me, well, it was Art of Peer Pressure, but
yeah, I think it's something else. I think it's something else. Where he painted a more vivid picture somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so next song, Money Trees. Them niggas just spitting on Money Trees, honestly. Like,
actually, I'll be honest. I like, and this is my personal, I love J Rock's verse rather than Kendrick.
oh no, Rock's fast. Nah, Rock definitely stole the show on this one.
Bruh,
Not even a bit to Kendrick. Like, Rock stole the show though.
Bruh, I'm like, that boy said, he said, hold on, I gotta get ready for this. He said, imagine Rock up in the projects, random niggas pick your pockets, Santa Claus don't make them stockings, liquor spilling, pistols popping, baking soda, Yola with it. Ain't no turkey on Thanksgiving. My homeboy just don't nigga. I just hope the Lord forgive him. Possibly cocaine residue. I'm like, bruh.
Hey, spazzing, completely spazzing. I'm like, Rock, what you owe, bro? What are you doing?
I'm
Hey,
like,
Rock slid. Like, you can't tell me, like, no, that's Rock. Like, that song, I know K-Dot, like, Rock stole the show on that. Rock did what he needed to do, for sure. Yeah, man. No,
any from the tracks that we went through so far, when you did your first listen of Good Kid, M.a.a.D City, what tracks from 1 through 5 that we've covered so far did you have to stop and play back before you went on to the next track?
I think at the time I was still really trying to push myself to get through albums, like especially Kendrick, because I was a fan, so I really just wanted to let it ride out. But I know for a fact, like, I wanted to listen to Backseat Freestyle again. Like, I wanted to play it back for sure. Art of Peer Pressure was like, I was like, you know what, I need that need to sit for a minute. I don't want to hear it again. I need that to sit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Money Trees was cool. Like, Money Trees was dope. Like, the first two was straight, but then like Money Trees was like, that's cool, but I didn't want to go back to it. Backseat, I was like, let me go ahead and finish. But I definitely would have went back. Because, you know, me, I was trying to learn the verse. So I was like, let me just go ahead.
You know what's so great? I wasn't even trying to, and like all my homies, the day after the album dropped, niggas come back to school, they on the bus, headphones, and we at the lunch table, they like, yeah, you heard that new Kendrick? Of course the whole table heard the Kendrick, but you got niggas already rapping the lyrics, and I'm just like, hold on, bro. Like,
let
me get right. I'm still trying to advocate for Cole and stuff like that. And they like, nah, bro. You need to bump this Kendrick. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah, nah, man. But then the next track of the Money Trees, Poetic Justice, you know, look, that was one of the singles. So, you know, we heard it. Wait, I think it was a single, wasn't it?
It was. I don't want to speak any inaccuracy, but it was a single off the album. I forgot if it was before.
Actually, I don't think it was. I don't think it was, actually.
No, it was, because he released a video for it. It was a single.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, Poetic Justice, smooth track, man. I mean, Poetic Justice got one of my favorite Kendrick lines
Word
of all time. If I told you that a flower bloomed in the room, would you trust it? What? Not even that not even that it's like crazy profound and nothing like that, but it's just, it applies to so many different things.
I
You know,
think the whole
totally
theme of
different
the
area.
song was dope. Like
Yeah,
you sampled Janet Jackson, then you titled the song a film that she was featured in, bruh. It was like, bruh, you on a different tier. And then the video, I don't know, bro. Like the video just took you to some Boys in the Hood slash. Like
yeah,
it took you to the Boys in the Hood scene when they was all at the cinema and stuff like that. And I thought that was
yeah,
like, that
yeah.
was pretty dope. I'm like, bro,
And I
Kendrick.
remember, I remember something about the video. You know, had Justine Sky in it, and it was one of the first times, especially at that time, that we had like a dark skinned like leading lady in a music video. So
Mhm.
that was real big too. Also want to know, Drake definitely had a very very good verse. Like Drake definitely killed his verse. I know we not the biggest fans of Drake on this
I
podcast.
mean, I will say this: Drake. I'm a respectable person of Drake's
Yeah,
music,
of
but
course.
I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't die hard. Like soon as he dropped, I ain't running to it like that. But he is respected. I do respect what he does to music. But he did.
He slid. He slid.
He definitely slid.
He slid. No, most definitely. No,
And this is, I think, my favorite skit came at the end of this. I'm gonna ask you one more time, homie. Where is you from?
You go tell me where
You
you
here
from?
for
Your
some
mom's
rain,
school? Or your grandma's
bruh?
like,
Yeah, bruh. We
hey,
going at the poetic justice,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
We slide into with track 7 with Good Kid. What's
yeah.
your thoughts on Good Kid, man?
So here's the thing. So Good Kid, I remember somebody asked me like when this dropped, one of my homies who was really into music too. I remember he asked me, did I like Good Kid? And I was like, I don't dislike it, but Good Kid just from what follows it, Good Kid didn't do a lot for me. Like I get it. I get it. I get the message. I hear it. I respect it. But like Good Kid just went one of them songs. It's not a dull moment. I don't think the album
Is
really.
it because of the beat? Because I know for me
Yeah,
when I first
yeah.
heard it,
It's the beat that kind of just it don't take nothing away from me, but it just kind of just
it's
it's
the
a
lyrics,
beat.
and that's what it was with me. Like when I was reading the lyrics, because like when I would listen to albums, I'm like I'm trying to read the lyrics at the same time, and
It's all the time.
bruh, it's just like the beat. And then it's like, all right, you pacing into the climax of the album and you already captured us in. And then it was like Good Kid, like the whole entire message is right there. But it was just like, I wasn't rocking with the beat at all, bro. Like I tried to get past it.
I
And
won't
like
rock
my
with
homies thought
it.
I was tripping. I'm like, yeah, bro. I ain't like Good Kid. You ain't like Good Kid. What you
Nah,
I don't like Good Kid, bro.
I won't rock. I won't rocking with the beat at all.
But it has grown on me now though. I
Yeah,
would say
I
that.
mean, of course, the more you listen to it, the more you hear within the album, you get used to it more so. But
Mhm.
but I mean, but I say it's not dull. But like I said, once you hear it, and then the song that comes after it, like it's just kind of like that's great. So that's Good Kid. Good Kid like is really one of the pillars of the album because it really does truly tell the story, and the whole theme of what he's trying to say. But this next song, this is woo. You know what's crazy about this song?
What's up?
You know what it came out to?
Word. Dang.
Yeah, dog. This is what I came out to.
Rules and Crips all got along. Probably had me down by the end of the song.
Didn't didn't have that schoolboy in there though. Hey, that Yacht shit is fire. That's so underrated. Like,
Yeah.
I really wish he would do that more. I really missed that from Q. Like that was probably my favorite ad lib at the time. I ain't gonna fake it to you. Like
Yeah,
Yacht.
and that's what's so crazy. Like that's what was so dope about TDE in a sense. It's like they can hop on a track, not even get the credit for the track, and all they did was just throw an ad lib on there, and you knew that was somebody from TDE, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I love that. I ain't gonna fake it. I love that.
Maad City, man. Everything about the song is just fire. The beat, delivery.
So if I take you down a trip down memory lane, this is not a rap I'm slinging. Crack or moon cocaine.
Hey, this is Cody Yakkin, Penny, Yakkin, Major Pay, not the drill sergeant, but the strength that's weighing on your brain. It was me,
It was me, Elbow, and Yang Yang, YG Lucky riding down Rosecrans. I'm like,
spazzing. But then even when the beat switched though, like
yeah,
even when the beat switched, like he's
and I ain't gonna fake it. I'm so
fresh out of
because
school, high
one of my
school, man.
favorite one of my favorite films is Menace to Society. So, and I love the track that MC8 had dropped on there, straight up Menace. So I'm like, all right, Kendrick got an MC8 feature. They gotta eat this, bro. They gotta eat this, bro. And MC8 did his thing. Kendrick
They
did his
ate.
thing.
Yeah, they ate, bro. They both
Like, he
ate.
straight got a nine from a real West Coast, like,
Legend.
bruh.
OG, like straight up, you know what I'm saying? And so it's wild because like that's smack dab in the middle of the album. And it's like, I would say in a way, it kind of you see a shift in tone. After this, I think this was the last real hype track or like track that really kind of got you up for real. Because after that, it kind of tones down and gets way more serious, but still, of course, fits the theme of the album. So after Mad City, we get Swimming Pools. That was, of course, a single that was out. I ain't gonna lie, Swimming Pools, honestly, like even for a single, he's still spaz. Like if you really listen to what he's saying and the way he delivered it, like I just don't think we was really getting that at that time. We weren't getting things like that, to me, like from what I was hearing at least. And so I just think like he was really separating himself, because even the Swimming Pools, like, yes, it sounds like a single. It's very radio, it sounds like it's for radio, stuff like that.
It's really like he's really talking about growing up around, alcoholics that
Literally.
you know what I'm saying, straight drunks and stuff like that. And like the message that he was putting in there of them, like, this is a way that they escape the realities of what's around us. Like, this is this good kid, this is all that he's seen his entire life is this. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that when I first heard the track in the message and watching the video, like, if you watch the video and like that was your first introduction to Kendrick, you'll be like, damn, this is kind of complex. But when you go back throughout his discography and understand, like, he's on a different tier with what he raps about and Swimming Pools being a lead single for the album and stuff like that. Like, at first I was just like, like the beat and everything was crazy and the lyrics was there. But I don't know. I guess because you heard it everywhere and because it was a good song like that. I think for me, I get tired of when I hear repetitive things over and over and over. Like, I don't care how good it is or who it's from. Just like repetition to me kind of it's just like, all right, what's next? And the album, the song, I wouldn't say album, but the song now is definitely something that I can go back and play over it now. But then, like, during the hype of it, it was like, all right, bro, next song. Like, if I'm in the car with my homie, next song, bro.
Next song, bro. Yeah. So then the next song is "Sing About Me."
This right here, bro. Right here, bro.
Hey, man, Kendrick has this, I'm not gonna call it a rare ability, like, because I'm not gonna try to make it seem like other people can't do it or don't do it, but he just has a certain approach to telling a story, like, and being able to put it in such a way that's like, that's what when I say when it comes to really like lyricism, like, I don't think, like, there's not many people touching from a lyric standpoint solely, like just the way he can put his words together and tell a story, or just like attack like a theme or a message. Just a lot of people can't do that. And on this song, man, like, that "Sing About Me" beat, first of all, the video for this is crazy. But that the "Sing About Me" beat even is just insane too. And man, that's a 8-minute song, bro. That's a 7-minute, 8-minute song that you don't really get tired of listening to. And that's tough.
I call you in case I'm not here tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can borrow a piece of mind. I'm behind on what's really important. My mind is really distorting. I find nothing but trouble in my life. Unfortunately, you believe in the dream. This orphanage we call a ghetto is quite a routine. And last night was just another distraction or a reaction of what we consider madness. I know exactly what happened. That boy said you ran outside when you heard my brother cry for help, held him like a newborn baby and made him feel like everything was all right in the fight he tried to put up, but the type of bullet that stuck. I was like, when I heard this, bro.
And then when he kept cutting off, with the different ways he chose to cut off, like the different sections of the song, like whether it just faded out or whether it was the gunshot, it's just like, hey, man.
It was this song. This was for this year, for that year, that time in hip hop. And being mainstream, I believe this was one of the most sentimental and one of the most deepest songs that I can remember at that time that was that was out for my age group, and the fact
Yeah.
that like most of my homies that I was going to school with, you know what I'm saying? Like this was a life that a lot of them was accustomed to. You know, I'm seeing my homies that are intrigued by this lifestyle and understanding like there might not be no coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to see my homies walking down the hallway, but I understand like you want to hustle when you're infatuated by that life and stuff like that. And then when you replay it back, like the song still holds value because the people that you have lost along your way and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and you
Yeah.
listen to it, it brings it like each time you listen to it, and then wherever you went in your life, it brings you to a different feeling. Because when I heard that back in 2012, it was like, sheesh. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Then fast forward 2 years later, then now, like now that song hit deeper than
Deeper, even
deeper.
deeper, bro. Like, cause like you said, like you go through, like you've lost some people at this point, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like you've seen like that play out, and it's just like, and not that of course that he was intentionally foreshadowing the shit because that shit that he experienced, but it's just like, damn, like in a way it was low key kind of like prepping you. Like if you was really listening and trying to like take it in and embrace it, like it was really prepping you for
Mm-hmm.
just how shit can get like as you transition, as you go through life. Like you just think about being in high school, like you said, like having homies that's infatuated with that life. There's only one way. Either you gonna go in that life or you gonna go the other way. And once you go, ain't no coming back. So whatever happened,
Yeah.
happened. So it's just it's crazy. Didn't even die in a thirst. Like at the end, man, like I said, for the skits to be, all the skits just had such a purpose, bro. Like it's insane. But man, like that song, especially to be a 7 to 8 minute song and to still hold that power over time as well is ridiculous. But yeah, next song, Real, featuring Anna Wise. Thoughts?
Real is one of them songs that I come back to, and it's kind of, for me, it's like a self-reminder of like at times who I am. Like I never want to lose, in a sense, truly me. Like wherever I sing to anything, like I ain't gonna fake it. Is this entire year I have played, I feel like each month throughout this year I played Real at one point. You know what I'm saying? And like that's big value to me because when the album first dropped, Real wasn't even in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that it was a great song. But like because this album can age so well, and then as you mature, your song selection is gonna switch out and stuff like that. And right now, Real, bro, it's just like, hey,
Hey, no, spazzing. Every verse, bro, spazzy. Every verse, bro. Like there was no foot off the gas at this point. Like it may have seemed like it because the tone and like it didn't sound as amp, but nah, the bars are still there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, yeah, Real. Next, Compton.
I loved Compton.
I love Compton too. I think, well, just Blaze beat spazzed on the beat. But yeah, no, I mean, whenever Kendrick is talking about home, like he just kind of taps into a different type of energy whenever he really talking about his city.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Compton, like for me, Compton, I love the beat. I feel like he spazzed on it. What I say is probably in like my top 3, top 5. Probably not, but it's still a strong song on the album.
How'd you feel about him getting, somebody that he looks up to, the OG on this track? Like, what was your thoughts on that? Well, can I say this? How are you a fan of Dr. Dre's music, or are you a fan of Dr. Dre's production? With like
definitely his production. I mean, only because I know Dr. Dre don't write, and that's not like horrible. Like I ain't saying.
Because I look at it like this.
Like so, it was fine.
Yeah, but see what I have done in the past. Like after this album came out, like years after this album came out, and I think it was around the time that NWA was about to drop. I was like, all right, I need to really do my research on like why is Dre that nigga outside of production. And I sat and listened to The Chronic, and I listened to 2001, and it was like.
But again, like I mean, one, that's still all his production, and even though he spazzes on both of them albums, it's like Snoop was helping write all them verses. Like he always had somebody helping him write verses, which is not a knock to him because he never like marketed himself as a rapper necessarily. Mm-hmm. So it ain't like we condemning him for that or nothing like that because he's legend certified, so that's not the problem. But I mean, I fuck with Dre music. So when you say I'm not a fan of him, of course I'm a fan, and I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm more of a fan of his production than rapping because I feel like it's mainly production. Like if he hop on the song, he's just doing it, because maybe he wanted to be on the song, or maybe it's his album, so it is what it is. But I don't think that's nothing to focus on or like, take away from the song or anything like that. But yeah, so Compton was definitely dope. Next song, The Recipe. I really only love The Recipe because I just feel like once I visited LA, like I got it. It just made sense.
Oh, word.
Yeah, like because I didn't visit LA until a year after this album came out. For the first time. I visited for the first time in 2013. So it was just like, yeah, I get it.
Did you play any Kendrick while you was in LA?
Of course. All dead near all Kendrick, because that was the only West Coast artist I was really listening to at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, like that, of course play hella Kendrick. But yeah, no, The Recipe, I mean, that was one of them. It wasn't a single, but it kind of like leaked a little bit, whatever. But Recipe was cool. Not a standout to me personally from the album, but I think it was a dope song nonetheless. The little kind of like metaphor of the recipe of Woman, Weed, and Weather being the recipe to LA, I think was a dope little,
Mm-hmm. I actually like The Recipe more than Compton itself.
Yeah, I say that. I agree.
And I think I love the vibe that exactly what you said. Like you got it once you heard it. Like I ain't been to LA yet, but just even hearing the track is just like you feel the breeze. You know what I'm saying? You feel it a little bit like. And at that point, I felt like at a youngin' at that age listening to this track, that's why you worried about women and literally money. You know what I'm saying? So it was when I first heard it, it wasn't a song that I knocked off like. It was like yeah. Like, because the album went from hype to getting serious, and even with the hypeness, like he still had a little bit of seriousness in it. But the serious shit, it was like, this nigga got dark, and then it was like, all right, I'm gonna take it on we back on some chill stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this is me, this is Kendrick Lamar, and like it was just like, yeah, I ride with it, I vibe with it. But I think one of my favorite songs that I knew was my favorite song at the time, but it was like because all the other songs I was overhyping them. Not overhyping them, but I was caught up in the hype with them. Black Boy Fly is definitely yes. It's like
yes.
It's like that.
Yes. No, and I'm assuming this was the song we was both talking about, like the most vivid storytelling on the album. Man, I mean, it doesn't get more vivid than that. Like I follow Hoops, so I knew who Aaron Aflalo was. So even to think about that dynamic, and it just goes to show, like, it's always been that saying of you never know who's watching you. So it's like for Kendrick to be watching all these niggas and for him to be who he is and end up becoming who he is, but to be looking at these niggas as he's growing up, like, damn, like,
shit was so
hard, bro. Like, why can't, like, for him to be sitting there like, I wish I could be like that. I know that's, how I should be, how I'm supposed to be, how I was raised to be type shit. But, and not even so much that he was necessarily getting into the worst, of things, but it's just like.
He got, this song, I feel like he got saluted. Like
sure.
every song he got a salute from different people, because it was good. But Black Boy Fly, it opened up the world of like, these were his heroes of like that, who he was looking up to, and like you not even thinking at this time that Kendrick Lamar, fast forward 8 years later, he's one of the number one person in the game of hip hop. At this time, it's just like, this is a student of hip hop dropping his, what would be his major label debut, you know what I'm saying, after Section 80, which was his actual album. But like to hear Good Kid M.a.a.D City and then Black Boy Fly, he's talking about a game who at this point, like the fire a little bit kind of burnt out, but you knew the name, the game. But it was like, you know the impact that Aaron Aflalo had on people like, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick Lamar in the game, how he had that impact, and like how he was just really vivid with the fact that the game was a real name. Like he's coming back to LA, like this is him, bro. Like
just in Game, like if you listen to Game music, like Game,
he talks about like how real he is. Like that's what I think that's what separate West Coast rap, like that type of West Coast rap, because like they're very vivid with their West Coast life or how they live. Like they'll talk about, I was just at the Grammys, but right after that, I'm going back to the streets. I'm going straight back. You know what I'm saying? Like many other rappers, I'm at the Grammys, next I'm at the next party, whoop out the pound. Like that, I don't want to say is more relatable, but it makes you feel more on a personal level with the artist. So Black Boy Fly was like really one of them tracks that's like, damn, like he rapping about his heroes that you wouldn't even think his heroes. Like that's who they looked up to. You know what I'm saying? Nigga now ain't talking about no Aaron Aflalo, but you know what I'm saying? At that time, that was like I thought that was really dope that he looked up to him and like he was jealous. Like this nigga, he's coming out of my school, coming out of my city, and that nigga's hooping. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No, that's real. I mean, that's top 5 for me. I know that. Top 3. Damn near top 3 for me, honestly. Now or Never is the next track featuring Mary J.
I got tired of it because it was on 2K. So, but I do like the fact that he got a Mary feature.
For sure.
Yeah, so that
wasn't, it wasn't much of a compared to the rest of the album. It wasn't much.
I looked at it as like one of those. All right, let's just put you out a radio track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely radio track for sure.
I would say though, I like that Jasmine Sullivan did get writing credits on this, so that is something that.
Yeah. I mean, if she wrote it, she should definitely get the credit.
Yeah, like that's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, that's real too. Other bonus track, Collect Calls.
I loved it. When I heard it, do you think Collect Calls is worthy to be part of the original, or how do you feel like it would have kind of took off a little bit if it
I don't. Worthy is tough. Worthy is tough. But
women lie, men lie. Is I say I feel because when I first heard Collect Calls, I was like, yeah, I really rock with it. Like just because you had spun Good Kid, M.a.a.D City so many times, it was something new from Kendrick, like a deluxe from the tape. So I think that was my hype from it. But like playing it back, and then like even the next songs after it, the Swimming Pools bonus, and then the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix, it was just like,
yeah, it was just extra shit. It was extra, extra ammo. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that would add to the initial reaction of the album, but just more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that is Good Kid, M.a.a.D City. I mean, we know it should have won a Grammy. It did not.
Don't remind me.
Cause it's fuck the Grammys.
Always.
But nah, man. So great. I mean, honestly, great album. When you talk about a major debut album, you talk about the album that most people recognize you for. Amazing. So I don't even know. For me, I guess if I'm gonna summarize it, it's like Good Kid, M.a.a.D City is the story of Kendrick Lamar growing up, in the story. It's not only is it his story, but it's also his proclamation of I'm about to take shit over. I felt like it served both of those purposes. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all it is to it. Like we know it's a great album. We know it embodied a lot of hip hop. We know it has great storytelling. But at the end of the day, he was able to tell his story, and in the midst of doing that, really proclaim himself as, or start on his way to proclaiming himself as the best in the game. So that's kind of my summary for it. I don't know if you got anything to add to that.
Nah, bro.
Cool. So I know what we're gonna grade it, so we might as well not even worry about that. A+. But of course. But you want to do top 3 or top 5?
Top 5.
I like the way you think. I'm gonna let you go first though.
So my top 5. And
you want an order, or you doing
no order? I can't do when it comes to Good Kid, M.a.a.D City, because an album like this, my top 5 always kind of changes, kind of switches out. So, but I will say, number 1, Sing About Me, Dying to Thirst. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go Money Trees. Number 3, I'm gonna have to go to Art of Peer Pressure. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go Backseat Freestyle. And number 5, I'm gonna have to go Real. And my honorable mentions would be Shireen, aka Master Splendour's daughter.
Backseat Freestyle, Art of Peer Pressure, Mad City, Sing About Me, Black Boy Fly.
Black Boy Fly.
Money Trees would be my honorable mention.
Okay.
Yeah. But that has been our album review on the now 8-year-old Good Kid, M.a.a.D City. Might as well go ahead and
Yes,
spin that.
sir.
Might as well go ahead and spin that today, just cause if you haven't recently, you're gonna enjoy it. We know that. But until next time, and until y'all see us tomorrow.
I
Cocaine drip, acid on my brain.